Introductory comments. I prepared this presentation for novices, for people who have had no experience with AI, or those who have played around with it and didn't get satisfaction, or the ones of you who had bad luck with using AI, or the ones of you who have heard horror stories about the use of AI. Back one step, when I was first asked to talk to this group about AI, I thought it was really impossible. We have no projectors, we have no screen, and I thought I really had to show you the live interaction between the questions I'm asking and what AI responded to. Well, so I asked my darling, beautiful, smart wife to work with me on this, that after I talk about in general, we're actually taking examples from our interaction with AI, and I will ask the question, as I would do in a computer, and she will be AI, she'll give me the response, okay? So let me summarize a little. Oh, one more thing. This is very intensive as far as material covered. So don't bother taking notes. At the end, we'll have a handout, a sheet, a sign-up sheet. If you put your name and email address on there, you'll get a copy of the presentation with all the links and everything. So no need for you to take notes right now. So AI is not here to replace us. It is here to amplify what we can do. Think of it like a real smart assistant, available 24/7, who doesn't get tired and doesn't send you a bill at the end of the month. A couple of definitions. AI stands for artificial intelligence. It's any technology that mimics human thinking, reasoning, learning, and problem solving. Generative AI, that's what we're dealing with now. When we talk about ChatGPT or similar, we're talking about generative AI. It's a subset of AI that creates new content, generates text, images, music, based on patterns in its training data. A couple of stories how I got hooked. I came to ChatGPT quite early. I am a reasonably good writer, but occasionally you come across a subject, a topic that is really hard. For example, I got an email from a friend notifying me that he was going to be dead in 30 days. So how do you respond to something like this? I mean, I had sad feelings, but I didn't know how to write an email like this. So I asked AI, told the story, what's happening, and say, please write a response. The response I got was so fantastic, I wish I had framed it. It was really, really super. Another example is, in our community here, a friend who knew that I was a native German speaker found in her correspondence an email, a copy of a letter that was written in 1899 in old German script, Korinth, which doesn't exist anymore. In elementary school, I barely learned its existence, but I never learned how to read, write, or so on. And so I thought, what are we going to do? Oh, I must add that the copy she gave me was really, really a poor quality copy. So we thought for a while, what can we do? Well, let's see what AI has to say. So I uploaded this really poor quality copy, and what came back was a verbatim translation of the transcript from the horrible writing to perfect German with an English translation below it. So when I saw these things, I knew AI was for me. And one more thing is I'm a reasonably good writer, but every now and then when I have a very important email, like to some, really important email, I ask my wife to edit. Well, she's very busy. And sometimes I had to wait quite a while to get an edit. Now, with AI, I don't have to wait anymore. I just tell it what I want, and I have my answer in seconds, okay? So, a very short history. AI versus generative AI. Remember in the 50s, when computers were the size of rooms, and scientists dreamed of machines that might think someday. In 1997, IBM's Deep Blue computer beat chess champion Garry Kasparov for the first time. By 2011, Siri appeared on our iPhones and responded to simple questions and instructions. Slow progression. By 2017, we made breakthroughs in neural networks and made modern AI possible. ChatGPT was launched in 2022, and 100 million people signed up within 2 months. So I was probably not one of the very first ones, but I came fairly early, and I've loved it. What do I use AI for? Editing my writings, helping with grant proposals. I'm very active in Rotary, and I do grant proposals. And it's a slow, tedious process, pages and pages of information to complete. I simply go to AI, say, help me, give it the information I need, and it comes back and tells me exactly what questions I have to answer. So it speeds up the process incredibly. And anytime I have specific questions, whether it's a historical question or a literature question or anything, quite frequently when I attend these Sunday morning talks, interesting questions come up. And that I jot them down, and when I go home, I do some research on AI and it answers all my questions. As I said, Linda's going to be my partner's presentation, so let's start with her, how she's using AI.
Okay, let's check my mic, all right? Good. Okay, good morning. My husband's a big AI user, and I have to admit, at first, it pissed me off. I am a really good writer, and I spent over 50 years becoming a wordsmith. But I will, agonize and agonize over the right phrase, and AI just does it like in seconds. I've really been impressed, so I'm jealous of AI, I have to admit. But some of the reasons and ways I use AI, medical information. I put in, I'm a 77-year-old woman and I've got this ache and pain, what could possibly be the problem and the solution? And it gives me some very interesting answers, but of course it always tells me to double check with my doctor. I take all these mineral and vitamin supplements I've acquired over the years. They tell you, oh, this is good, that's good. And before you know it, I've got like 20 different supplements. Well, I ran all those through AI, and I found out I was duplicating a lot, and I really didn't need all of those. Plus, it told me the right times to take them. I was taking a lot of things at the wrong time. Business analysis. I've invested in some property here, and it really helped me in gathering information about contractor costs and building expenses in Guadalajara and in Jalisco and Chapala, so that I could make rational ROI decisions. Meal planning. I put in, here's what I've got in the refrigerator that's going to go bad if I don't use it this week. And it will give me a meal plan, something to make with those things. Translating. Google Translate only does short documents. But AI, I can put in complex contracts and also spreadsheets, and it gives me really good Spanish to English or what other language translations. And fact checkers. You ever look on Facebook and there's this meme and you're going, I don't know if that's true. I copy it, stick it in AI, and it tells me this is bullshit, or, hey, yeah, there's some basis to this. So those are some of the ways that I use AI.
Okay. So let me give a short summary of some of the ways that AI is being used by beginners for everyday tasks. Summarizing articles or really long emails. Write or edit messages. Draft an email response. Travel planning. Learning skills like languages, recipes, music. Playing around with the AI, some not so serious things. I've asked AI to create a painting from scratch in certain styles and so on. I don't use those, it's just every now and then there's distractions, fun. Brainstorming ideas, solving problems, but always check your answers. AI is confident even when it's wrong. And occasionally or rarely it is wrong. AI is like a smart assistant, not a magic brain. Now, how are professionals using AI? In education, teachers can use it for lesson planning, tutoring, quizzes, grading rubrics, etc. Writers for outlines, drafts, editing. A lawyer may have AI produce a contract template. As a side of medicine, research summaries and patient instructions. I just came across an article that a year ago, physicians, hardly anybody was using AI. Today, 70% of physicians are using AI. Okay, so it is growing rapidly, and people are recognizing its usefulness and start using it. Medicine, research summaries, patient instructions, business, drafting reports, marketing, copy, data analysis, customer support, artists generate visuals or concepts, creative work, writing, music design, overcoming writer's block, etc. Now, the next part is very important. It's the main AI's apps that are around that people are familiar with. Not just give you the names. On the handout, you'll have links to those as well. ChatGPT, which is my favorite, and I use it multiple times every day. Claude, Gemini is produced by Google. Copilot by Microsoft. DeepSeek is a Chinese version. I've used it and it works just like any other. DALL-E is basically for image design. And the one that maybe you haven't heard of is Otter IE AI, and I discovered by chance what it can do for you. You sign up with it, and it summarizes when you're in a Zoom meeting and you activate it, it summarizes the meeting. At the end of your Zoom meeting, you have a complete summary of what the meeting was all about. So, and there are so many of those. Now, another comment. In the last few days, I saw an article. It says the 50 best AI apps. 50 best AI apps. So I went online and said, how many AI apps are there? Over 2,000. And there's actually no way that we can all, go through them. And so my recommendation is that if you have a problem and you try ChatGPT or whatever your favorite is, just check some of the other ones out. Or go on and say, for my purpose, which AI apps should I consider? And it will give you a list of the ones that may be useful for your particular project in mind. So how do I use AI? When you first open it up, anybody here who has never dealt with ChatGPT, for example, you open up chatgpt.com, and up comes an opening page that says, what can we do for you? And you ask a question, and you will answer it, and you do this once or twice, and I'll come back to you and say, it's time for you to sign up. And the signing up is free. All you do is open an account like you did for Gmail or whatever, and an email, password, and you can log into AI anytime, and you're fine. I have been using it for 2 years. I know I have friends who pay $20 a month to use ChatGPT. I have used it for free the entire time. I like it so much that someday if it comes to me and says, Peter, it's time for you to any up, so then I will pay happy to pay $20 a month. I get my money's worth, but as long as I can get it for free, I will keep doing it. Okay.
Let me interject something too. When you open that page, you have the option to talk to it. There's a microphone. You can ask it questions. If you're not good at typing, fumble fingers. You can type in a question. You can input a picture and ask about it. You can attach a document. You can input a URL. There are many ways to access it.
Okay, following up on that, the key in having a successful interaction with AI is the question. With time, you learn how to question appropriately. If you ask a simple question, like explain the difference between such and such, you could do that. But you can also say, for example, when you ask for a summary, I want a one-page summary, I want a two-page summary. You can be very specific. Or if you ask a question, a philosophical question, you can ask, I would like to have the answer coming from a physician. Or I want to have the answer coming from a philosopher. That's all options that you learn as you get into AI that the secret is in questioning. What I do these days is I actually give AI a paragraph. Now, another thing I need to tell you is once you have an account, AI remembers you. And AI remembers the question you asked 2 years ago. And that's one of the sources of error, that I ask a question today and AI thinks I'm referring to something I asked in the past, and it basically answering the question from today with reference to something in the past. And I have to catch that and saying, you're not getting what I'm saying. Here is what I need, okay? And then it usually comes through. So now let's start with our sample questions. And is AI ready?
Hi, I'm AI.
Plan a 3-day trip to Oaxaca on a $500 budget.
Okay. Day 1, explore the Zocalo, enjoy street tacos. Day 2, visit Monte Alban and Mezcal distilleries. Day 3, visit markets for crafts and souvenirs. Total cost, $480, including bus fare from Mahihic and 3 nights at a mid-price hotel. Would you like hotel options and restaurant recommendations?
That's one thing you have to get used to. Whenever you interact with AI, it will have follow-up questions for you. I've given you the answer. Would you like to have a different angle? Would you like to have this? Would you like to have additional information on this? And and I'm very polite with my AI partner, and so say, no thank you, I have all the information I need. A humor question. Write a haiku about Ahihic.
Lake Mirrors Hills. Mariachi notes drift by. Sun warms cobblestones.
Education. Explain black holes in simple terms to a 10-year-old.
A black hole is like a cosmic vacuum cleaner with gravity so strong not even light escapes. Imagine space as big as don't touch sign.
Write a polite email turning down an invitation to dinner.
Dear Maria, thank you so much for the invitation. Unfortunately, I already have a commitment that evening, but I'd love to get together soon. How about next week? Warm regards, Peter.
Give me 3 titles for a talk about AI for a curious audience.
1. AI Demystified, What It Means to You. 2. The Future is Here, Living with AI. 3. From science fiction to your smartphone, AI Explained.
Okay, and now I asked, by the way, these are all directly from, I asked AI those questions, and those are the answers. And then I asked, now I want to have, to save time, I want to have a generalized answer. Plan a 1-week trip to Morocco, starting in Marrakesh and including the Sahara Desert.
I would provide a day-by-day summary suggesting activities, giving cultural tips, and estimating costs. I would give you hotel and restaurant recommendations, plus polite phrases to use in the local language.
Write a 50-word micro-story about finding a message in a bottle on a deserted beach.
I would write a short story, a vivid short story, with a wicked ending twist.
Explain the water cycle in a way a 6-year-old would understand.
AI uses language appropriate to the age and would include fun metaphors a child might like, such as the sky's big bathtub.
Give me 5 ways to say thank you in Italian and when to use each.
AI would list phrases like mille grazie and explain the tone and context in which each should be used.
Create a quick vegetarian dinner menu for 4 people under 30 minutes.
AI would suggest dishes with menus, ingredients, and shopping lists, plus a timeline for preparation.
What is the simplest way to explain cryptocurrency to someone who has never used the internet?
AI would offer down-to-earth analogies, saying cryptocurrency is sort of like digital gold.
Suggest 3 morning routines that increase focus and productivity.
AI would include habits like journaling, mindfulness, and time blocking.
Tell me a clean joke about AI and coffee.
AI doesn't need coffee. Its code runs on Java.
What are 5 traditions during the Day of the Dead in Oaxaca?
AI would list altar making, marigold pathways, sugar skulls, pan de muertos, and others.
Write a short and friendly text to reschedule a doctor's appointment.
AI would create a polite, concise message with alternative time suggestions.
Okay, now a number of things that we have to be concerned about. AI can hallucinate. That is, it can make things up. And that's one of the criticisms that occasionally you read, and that should not keep you from, as long as you are aware what's going on, it will not get past you. If you take everything automatically, it's potentially dangerous. Bias. It reflects the data it was trained on, and reflects that data in its inherent biases. Privacy. Don't trust it with personal, private, and sensitive information that you don't want to be made public. Over-reliance, still need human judgment, and ethics. That's something that we have to now be concerned with, especially as AI is being used by students. And as a teacher, you have to teach your students that the concept of plagiarism, and that how can you as a student successfully use AI, and how should you not use AI because it ends up being cheating. Takeaway. AI won't replace people, but people who use AI will replace those who don't. Now, a few general questions, anticipating questions you may have before we open it up to your questions. Will AI take away jobs?
Yes. As it makes work more efficient, some jobs are bound to be lost. Mostly, AI will change jobs, but it won't eliminate work altogether. Just like the internet and smartphones, it will automate repetitive tasks while creating new roles. The biggest winners will be people who learn how to use AI as a tool.
Can AI replace human creativity?
No. AI can mimic creativity, but it doesn't understand or feel. It creates using patterns from its training data, but it doesn't have taste, judgment, or lived experiences. The best results happen when humans and AI collaborate.
Can AI think?
AI can process information, analyze patterns, and generate responses based on data. So in some ways it might seem like AI is thinking, but it's not really thinking as a human does.
How accurate is AI? Can I trust it?
AI is brilliant and clueless at the same time. It can write like an expert, but also occasionally makes up facts called hallucinations. Always verify important information, like you double-check something you read online.
Is AI dangerous?
AI isn't inherently dangerous. It's how people use it that matters. Risks include misinformation, deepfakes, and misuse in cybercrime. But with transparency, regulation, education, we can manage these risks, just as we did with the internet.
Will AI become conscious?
No evidence suggests that. AI does not have awareness. It's a math model predicting text based on patterns. It's like a calculator for language, not a mind.
How can I start using AI for free?
Start with a free version of ChatGPT or Perplexity. Use them for small tasks, summarizing an article, writing an email, or planning a trip. Once you see the benefits, you can explore more advanced tools.
So in conclusion, AI isn't magic. It's a tool, a powerful tool. The sooner you experiment with it, the sooner you will understand its potential. The future isn't waiting, and neither should we.